This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Jacqueline has the evening off. Topping our news this evening, as the City of Venice prepares for some of the biggest construction work in years, city's having to make adjustments to ensure a fast construction time for the projects. ABC7's Christopher Bradley has more from Venice.
The nearly $6 million project has a very tight deadline.
In our opinion, it's better to do a short project that is more impactful in the short period than to look at, an 18-month project that could tie up downtown for a long time.
The city's engineering department had an outside analysis done and did concur that the work could be completed in just 240 days.
They will be working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's going to be a quick project, but there's a lot to get done.
What's getting done is a complete facelift of downtown, all of the sidewalks, drainage, and roadways.
When the roads were first constructed, they were somewhat poured in place in the late 20s or 30s, and they've cracked along the fractures now, so that base material has to be taken out.
The project has long been talked about, and business owners have expressed joy that it's finally happening. But it's going to require a certain level of patience.
It's something that all the businesses are anxious for on one front, and on the other, there's going to be some stress during the reconstruction process.
That stress will likely be felt by Kathy Chrisman. She owns Dick's Shoes.
We're hoping to keep the lines of communication open with the city and the contractor so that if anything has to be closed, like a sidewalk, it's going to be closed for a period of time, that they let us know.
During the work, Venice Main Street plans to do heavy promotions so people know the businesses will still be open.
That's ABC7's Christopher Bradley reporting from Venice. The bid closes in early February, and if all goes smoothly, the project will begin in April and end at the beginning of November. Well, if you get ticketed for texting and driving in the future, your race and ethnicity may also be recorded. It's part of a measure that continues moving through the state Senate. The requirement about recording race and ethnicity was recently added to the bill, which is meant to strengthen Florida's ban on texting while driving by making it a primary offense. Right now, it's a secondary offense, so drivers can only be cited if they're pulled over for other reasons. The bill's sponsor says the overall proposal is designed to change the behavior of drivers.
The message I believe that we're sending out, having a secondary offense to the public, the driving public, is, look, just don't do something else. And as long as you're not doing something else, texting and driving is okay. The proposal, which has now cleared 3 Senate panels, must get approved by one more committee before it can go to the full Senate. The House version, which does not have a similar race and ethnicity reporting requirement, has been approved by one committee so far. The reward for information goes up in a recent Manatee County murder case. The Gold Star Club is now offering up to $5,000 for information about Michael Grantley's death. Crime Stoppers is also offering a reward of up to $3,000. Deputies say a worker found Grantley's body off 26th Avenue East in Bradenton 1 week ago. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers in Manatee County at 866-634-TIPS. A Port Charlotte man is arrested after deputies say he barricaded himself in a hospital room also he could watch a game on television. Charlotte County Sheriff's deputies say John DeAndrade refused to leave a room at Bayfront Health Sunday. Deputies say a security officer gave DeAndrade multiple opportunities to leave, but he refused. Deputies were able to get inside the room and arrested DeAndrade. He's now charged with trespassing and resisting an officer without violence. A lawsuit filed against the owner of Patty the dog for biting a teenage girl has now been dropped. The case dismissal was filed this week. According to court filings last summer, the dog allegedly attacked the 17-year-old. The black lab avoided a death sentence for biting a toddler nearly 3 years ago. That court case led to amended state laws regarding euthanizing dogs that cause injury in an attack. A Manatee County commissioner is calling for the resignation of the executive director at a local youth center. Commissioner Charles Smith says he supported Palmetto's Youth Center Director Reggie Bellamy in the beginning, but claims the director is not doing his job. Smith says the commission recommended to cut $114,000 in funding for that center. Bellamy was told he could appeal to the board to restore those funds.
To go out in the community, raise money, to build relationships and partnerships, and that is not happening. You cannot receive taxpayers' money and don't show up to work. So he needs to resign soon. He has to February the 1st to resign.
Commissioner Smith says if he does not resign by that date, he would take the necessary steps to make sure he does. We reached out to Bellamy for comment, but did not get a response. Let's get a check on our weather this evening with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Nice day once the rain cleared, Bob.
Yeah, kind of interesting too, Scott. The coastal locations had a lot of fog around. Inland areas, not as much. So this is a look at the Van Wezel webcam. This is at 3 o'clock. A dense fog advisory was in effect, and it's starting to expire now, and I'll show you why. The moving through time here, here's 4 o'clock, and you can see still very thick out there. And then when we get to 4:30, 5 o'clock, things are starting to break up, although there's still some patches of dense fog out there, and this continues to work its way southward. So visibility down to a mile only in Venice, and remember coastal areas a little bit further out in the Gulf, the visibility is less than that, down to a quarter of a mile, and that continues on into Charlotte Harbor. So interesting to note too, today is a Severe Weather Awareness Week, and today's topic is marine hazards, and this is one of those. Fog is a real concern when you're boating. That's why you have to have a sound device on every boat so that you can alert other boaters around when the visibility drops below a quarter of a mile. Here is the wind forecast. The cold front is going to be working through, and that's going to bring in that drier air. Now, this may be a little delayed, but we are going to see this clear our area, especially the Charlotte Harbor area. By, say, around 7, 8 o'clock, it should be all gone as that wind will switch to the north and northwest, and then the warning that had been in effect, the advisory, has since expired now. So the National Weather Service has let that expire, although there's still some dense fog out in South Sarasota County. Some showers down to our south. We had a little bit of rain earlier today. That rain has since moved on, and now we're looking for some drier air. Now, one thing to note, we are going to see clouds on again and off again throughout the night tonight and tomorrow as a result of the upper level winds kind of overriding the cooler air, and that will allow us to see some of that mid-level cloudiness tomorrow. 65 in the dew point. You're going to watch this number come down throughout the night as those winds turn more to the north-northwest. They're already doing so at the Sarasota-Bradian Airport at 13 miles an hour. Now, the upper level winds I mentioned are going from the southwest to the northeast, and they'll be around close enough to us to keep us in partly cloudy conditions, but temperatures are not going to drop all that much. In fact, just a few degrees below average for highs tomorrow. We'll have more on our weather coming up in just a few minutes. Scott.
Okay, Bob, thank you. President Trump signing a spending bill last night that temporarily funds the federal government. But lawmakers only have 3 weeks to hash out a new deal before a shutdown becomes a possibility yet again. CNN's Caitlin Collins reports on the president's plan to try to keep that from happening.
President Trump touting the end of the government shutdown as a big win for Republicans, and signaling a willingness to broker a deal on Dreamers and border security, tweeting, "See you at the negotiating table." Sources tell CNN that Mr. Trump is eager to rebut criticism that he did little to help end the shutdown.
The great deal-making president sat on the sidelines.
Aides say Mr. Trump's low profile was intentional, the White House insisting the president had an impact.
Look, what the president did clearly worked.
But offering little clarity about Mr. Trump's position about the path forward for Dreamers.
Status versus pathway to citizenship, or does it not matter to the president?
I think that's part of the negotiation process, but right now, again, we want a permanent solution for that program.
The chairman of the Republican conference telling CNN that Mr. Trump is key to any immigration solution succeeding in the House.
His role will be an important one, and I expect that we will be hearing from him early and often now once these discussions get underway.
Sources tell CNN that the deal to reopen the government was due in part to promises from Senate Majority Leader McConnell to hold a vote on immigration in the coming weeks.
It was a much more explicit commitment, and that's what I think made the difference.
But Minority Leader Schumer's decision to concede and accept McConnell's commitment prompting backlash from progressives, including the 16 Democrats that voted against the short-term resolution.
I do not trust him at all. He has promised Lindsey Graham and Susan Collins, Jeff Flake, made promises, commitments that he has not honored.
Distrust in Washington is nothing new. It now extends to the FBI, given President Trump's very public war with the nation's top law enforcement agency. A new report from Axios claims that the FBI Director Christopher Wray threatened to resign amid pressure from Attorney General Jeff Sessions to fire the FBI's outgoing Deputy Director Andrew McCabe. President Trump has repeatedly targeted McCabe over his handling of the Hillary Clinton email investigation and his loyalty to fired FBI Director James Comey, suggesting McCabe is biased and questioning why Sessions has not replaced him. The White House insisting in a statement that the president supports Director Wray, but asserting that politically motivated senior leaders have tainted the FBI's reputation.
Caitlin Collins reporting for us there. ABC7's business commentator Richard Stern joins us now. Look at the day on Wall Street, and we had 2 record closes on Wall Street, but not 3, huh?
Scott, we're getting spoiled. You know, every day it's the Dow, the NASDAQ, the S&P, and today it was the NASDAQ, the S&P. The Dow finished down by 1/100th of 1%. Doesn't get a whole lot smaller than that. But during the course of the day, intraday, what we did see was a 102-point swing. The Dow was actually down by 70 points at the low of the day, up by 32 points at the high of the day. And as I said, when we finished, you literally had all but a dead heat. But 2 records will take it. There you see the Dow, down less than 4 points, 1/100th of 1% on volume of 688 million shares. That's a close of 26,210.81. The NASDAQ continues to be on fire, up another 0.7 of 1%, more than 52 points at 7,460.29. That on heavy volume of 1,909 million shares. And the S&P, up arrow, 6 points, 0.2 of 1% at 2,839.13. Well, there are lots of smiles today at Disneyland. The Magic Kingdom has some magic, and that's because Disney announced this afternoon that it will be paying a one-time $1,000 bonus to each of its 125,000 employees. If you do the math, that's a cool $125 million on a one-time payout. In addition to that, Disney said it is going to fund a $50 million education program which will allow all of Disney's employees the possibility to get scholarships for higher education. So it looks like this tax bill is working. Disney came out specifically and said we've done this because of the tax bill, and so a lot of people think it's made a big, big difference. One quick thing that we talked about last night, and a new thing really for our viewers, we're going to have a weekly get-together called Conversations with the Sterns. Actually, this week it'll be Thursday morning at 10. Limit of 12 people, so we can really sit down and have a quality conversation. Look at our website, sternbaird.com, or simply Google Stern Baird, or again, the old-fashioned way, 941-906-2847. That's Thursday at 10, and really looking forward to getting some really one-on-one quality time, so should be a good time.
All right, good luck. Thank you, Richard. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, why many people were forced to take action quickly today following a tsunami threat off the Alaskan coast. And we'll get back to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. He'll be back with your first alert forecast and the latest on the fog that's out there this evening, and how a test sampling of your blood may help doctors detect cancer faster than ever before.
The ABC7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
If you don't vote, you can't complain. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, we'll sit down with the Sarasota County Election Supervisor to learn more about the February special election. It's Workout Wednesday. We'll get to the beat and give body pump a try. Plus the best home values in Suncoast for sale. And Chef Paul Madison previews a wine dinner for Forks and Corks weekend in the kitchen.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
You don't want to miss the annual Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. It is the largest orchid show on Florida's West Coast, with thousands of blooming orchids on display and for sale. You'll also find orchid growing supplies, artwork, jewelry, accessories, and free classes. Make plans now to attend the Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. Go to vaos.org online for more details.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G-Freed has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G-Freed Flooring America. G-Freed Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
A massive earthquake off the coast of Alaska sparking fears of a tsunami. Officials issuing tsunami warnings and watches for most of the west coast early this morning. Those warnings of the damaging waves coming to end hours later. ABC's Danya Backus has more.
The tsunami alarm waking Alaska residents in the middle of the night. Authorities telling people to get to higher ground immediately.
This is not a drill. This is an actual tsunami warning. Everybody get out of your homes and make it a safe place.
A 7.9 earthquake off the coast of Alaska's Kodiak Island triggering a tsunami warning, sending people scrambling to find safety. Kodiak's 6,000 residents gathered at the local high school for shelter.
We're leaving base now. Yeah, they're sounding the alarms now.
We're about to take off and head for deeper water. Most of the city is headed for higher ground.
The quake also generating tsunami watches up and down the west coast from British Columbia all the way to Southern California. People here waking up to messages like this one on their phones. After a few tense hours, those watches were canceled after waves felt to show up in coastal Alaska communities.
The plates slid past each other instead of one going beneath each other. This will cause less uplift on the sea floor, and there's less chance of a tsunami.
There were no reports of injuries or damage after the initial quake. And get this, according to NOAA, tsunami waves can travel as fast as 500 miles per hour in deep water. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Pretty incredible. I'm glad there wasn't much to it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. There's a fault there that is very active.
Yeah.
Obviously, it goes on through there, and there can be some huge tsunamis there as a result of that. Luckily, that one didn't occur, but the estimates are that it could be devastating if it ever did occur there. We are not in as much danger here along the west coast of Florida. Because the strongest fault is down in the Caribbean, it would be hard for that wave to get through the Yucatan Peninsula as well as Cuba without being disrupted. So we're somewhat protected there, but looks like we are not protected by the fog today. It was rolling in at times, and it's breaking up now. This is a recent photo from Norm Schimmel sending this one in again of the fog just recently, and you see it's breaking up. When I came into work earlier today, boy, we had a lot of fog around right near the coast, all the way near the airport, and marine travel was very difficult as a result of that thick fog. Still is. The rain, though, down to our south, that is gone. We had a few showers around this morning and overnight. That rain has since exited our area. Maybe a sprinkle here, but I would not count on much rain at all throughout the rest of the evening. And then drier and cooler air moves in. I noticed the word cooler. It's not going to be extreme like we saw last week. Now, as far as that rain goes, you can see it's over Lake Okeechobee down south, just to the east of Fort Myers, but nothing really showing up here with the radar sweeps from Melbourne, from Tampa, and from down south in the Keys. Well, the upper level flow, though, continues to be right overhead, and with that in mind, we're going to see the northwest to west flow at the surface, but in the upper levels, it'll be southwest to northeast, and that will allow some mixing of the atmosphere and some clouds now and again throughout the day on Wednesday. Normally when a front blows through, things clear out, turns real sunny. Well, we're going to see the sunshine tomorrow and a little bit more than we saw today, but we will see also some clouds intermixed in that. Temperatures will be cooler, though, because the surface winds will be out of the north northwest. Highs will be into the upper 60s as opposed to the low to mid 70s, what we normally expect. 70 degrees right now, and the clouds around this number here will start to come down significantly over the next couple of hours as winds are out of the northwest at 13. And as far as those dew point temperatures go, you can see they're already dropped in Pensacola. Dry air has moved in, and in Tallahassee, dry air has moved in. Jacksonville now at 57 degrees, and just dropped down a degree here in Sarasota, 73. So the warm, moist air is still here, but as I said, that is going to be shrinking and pushing to the southeast. That current fog conditions, still some fog out in the Gulf. It's getting patchier now, not as thick as it once was, and this is all going to drop southward. Visibility is now at Sarasota Reagan Airport at 10 miles, and still just 2.5 mile visibility at the Venice Airport there. Less visibility as you push out into the water. Well, the hourly forecast tomorrow does call for a return of sunshine. We're not going to see any rainfall around, but we'll see highs in the upper 60s, right around 69 degrees. The futurecast indicating no real threat of any significant rainfall over the upcoming days. Looks good tomorrow. No chance for any rainfall. And then again, same goes true for Thursday as that moisture kind of stays trapped down to our south. But we'll see the high clouds now and again moving across the area. Temperatures into the 20s and 30s in places like Minot and Denver and also Chicago, 37 now into Cleveland. And as far as the highs go, staying kind of chilly in Minneapolis and Chicago. Nothing bitterly cold right now, but that's going to change next week. It looks like there is another area of Arctic air expected to make a plunge down south. For boaters tomorrow, we'll start off with northwest winds at 20 knots. They'll subside 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Seas will be up to 4 feet to begin the day, subsiding somewhat to 2 feet. Late in the day, it'll be choppy conditions out there in the morning, moderate chop in the afternoon. So fog gets out of here, and then seasonal lows into the mid-50s, partly cloudy skies, and southeasterly winds 5 to 10. The 7-day forecast, nice tomorrow, 68, and we'll get down to 48 on Thursday, so kind of a chilly morning there. We'll warm back up on Friday to 74, and then increase in clouds on Saturday in advance of the next storm system. Now we have a first alert day, it looks like, on Sunday, meaning showers and the possibility of some thunderstorms. The chances for thunderstorms now has lessened somewhat with the latest computer forecast run. That's at 20% chance for thunderstorms, 70% chance of getting showers, definitely. And then Monday, clouds and showers winding down, 68 for a high, and then 69 for a high on Tuesday. So not too bad of a cold front on Sunday, just bringing us some rain, unfortunately, on the weekend. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you so much. Let's get to first alert traffic. No crashes in the area to report, and what looks like a good ride on I-75 at this hour. All green on the map, no slowdowns heading north or south. In health news tonight, scientists may be getting closer to developing a new way to detect cancer in the body. An experimental blood test has the potential to locate early stage cancer more easily. Mary Maloney has details in today's Health Minute.
Scientists are seeing progress with an experimental blood test that could detect cancer. In trials, the non-invasive test found the presence of multiple common tumors, including in the ovary, liver, stomach, pancreas, lung, and breast. The findings were published in the journal Science. The blood test is called CancerSeek and could run patients less than $500. That cost is comparable to or lower than other cancer screenings. The test enables researchers to evaluate the levels of specific blood protein markers combined with thousands of DNA markers. Using this information, they developed an algorithm to determine the source of cancer identified in positive tests. CancerSeek's sensitivity averaged 70% among 8 types of cancer. It was able to detect 98% of ovarian cancers, but only 33% of breast cancers, and that's in patients who have already been diagnosed. Researchers warn that as of now, the test only lays a foundation for detection, but they are hopeful that detecting early-stage cancers could become easier in the future. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
The flu epidemic now ranked the worst in 8 years. The CDC reporting every state except Hawaii is reporting flu activity at an alarming rate. At least 30 children have died from the flu. Many people are wondering how to flu-proof their homes. So a few tips from doctors. They say add a humidifier to bedrooms, gargle with green tea, and wash your hands frequently, and also dry your hands with paper towels. Last but not least, clean surfaces with an antiviral spray or cloth. Coming up, a crash involving at least 15 cars in the Midwest, how it ended up fatal for one driver, and how one man with limited mobility is working as a boxing coach while following his big dreams.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today. And named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
It's time to take a road trip.
Alabama's got 100 road trips.
And if you love the sun, you're gonna love Mobile, where Mardi Gras is king, and the accommodations will make you feel like royalty. You can take a little drive, explore Dauphin Island, or explore the past. We're talking the USS Alabama.
Check out these big guns. Alabama's got 100 road trips. Plan yours at alabama.travel.
Which one you gonna take?
My name is Stephen Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in an accident, whether or not it's your fault, your insurance company might be responsible for some of your expenses. So give us a call. We've got your back.
Around the neighborhood or around town, you'll feel good and look even better driving your new Fiat. For maximum performance, check out the all-new Fiat Spider. You'll flip over the superior handling and capability. Or follow roads less traveled in the Fiat 500X. So go big or go small. With prices starting as low as $13,999, you're sure to find a Fiat that fits your style during the Start Something New event, going on now at Sunset Fiat of Sarasota.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
One man is dead. 3 others are hurt after this crash involving multiple vehicles in Missouri. One of those sent to the hospital was an infant. Police say the deceased victim was inside a vehicle that was stuck underneath a tractor-trailer. As many as 50,000 people have been affected by the Mount Mayon volcano eruption in the Philippines. About 28,000 of the displaced have been relocated to more than 24 evacuation centers in the surrounding areas. Domestic and international flights have also been affected by that volcano. An Ohio boxing coach has become quite the inspiration, especially for one young man who is wheelchair-bound. Ty Ward's physical challenges have not stopped him from getting inside the ring. The 18-year-old is an assistant coach at Ward's boxing gym. Ty was born with spinal muscular atrophy, confining him to a wheelchair his entire life. But that has not stopped him from having some very big dreams. He wants to one day become a sports broadcaster. His boss, gym owner Joe Broad, says he'll do everything in his power to make sure Ty's dreams come true. Still to come in your Suncoast News, the state's First Lady makes multiple stops along the Suncoast. What she found most important to read to Manatee County students. And a wish is granted for a young girl with cancer who's visiting the Suncoast. Why the girl's simple wish of riding a horse had a very special meaning for the family.
Start the year off with big savings during the Start Something New event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Ram trucks, and for a limited time, you can take your new Ram 1500 home for as little as $19,999. Or go big and step up to a new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $13,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
The classic film Singing in the Rain is coming to the Players Center in a live stage show opening January 17th. All the dances and all the songs you've come to know and love, all a part of our Wild Broadway series. Get your tickets now for this limited run by calling the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. You too can be singing in the rain.
You don't want to miss the annual Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. It is the largest orchid show on Florida's West Coast with thousands of blooming orchids on display and for sale. You'll also find orchid growing supplies, artwork, jewelry, accessories, and free classes. Make plans now to attend the Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. Go to vaos.org online for more details. Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's 2017 most trusted brand, best overall brand, and lowest 5-year cost to own. And Subaru Impreza is an IIHS top safety pick for 11 years running. Lease the all-new Subaru Impreza for just $185 a month, or get 0% financing and 0 down with complimentary maintenance included. That's right, not 1 penny down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC7 and these sponsors.